This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed performer, teacher, choreographer, she does it all, the one and only Danielle Burman. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at Danielle's incredible talent. Well, hello, Danielle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Danielle, it is so nice to finally meet you. And I'm so excited the audience got a little sneak peek of just one of your many talents, dancing. But I want to know, Danielle, where were you born and was there a specific moment when you fell in love with dance in the theater?
I'm from outside of Washington, D.C., so I grew up surrounded by a ton of the tours that would come through, and theater was always a part of it, part of my life growing up. I don't know if there was one moment I, well, I started getting into theater because I was obsessed with The Wizard of Oz when I was little. I would watch it on repeat. My parents were like, "Ah, we should put her in theater class or something," and and then I didn't stop, and I just kept going.
I love it. And well, speaking of Dorothy finding Oz, you literally finished exams on Tuesday and then moved to New York on Wednesday in the middle of a pandemic. Like, talk about showbiz dreams. Uh, how did you do all that?
Um, when you say it out loud, I definitely am like, wow. Um, but I went to school at Long Island University Post, so I'm only about an hour outside the city, which was definitely helpful to come and see the apartment and get to know New York City before coming and living here. And I definitely has helped me feel more acquainted because I was in the city all the time through college. And of course, a little break during the pandemic. I only stayed at school, but we were in school the whole pandemic in person. So I've been in New York for 4 years now. So it's good.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, welcome to the Big Apple officially. I'm curious, Danielle, obviously this has been a tough time for all humans, artists, but being a student during this time, to have that sense of community. And now here you are in New York, and hopefully, things will start to open up more and more in stages. Are you excited to get back into those in-person auditions?
Yeah, I really am. Surprisingly, I have a couple coming up in the first 2 weeks of January, more than I thought I would, but because I'm non-union, so they're allowed to do those in person. But it's very different. I filmed the first rounds in my room, which I did this morning. A couple of them in here, a nice blank wall.
I was about to
Um,
say, you have like a blank canvas. Like, you literally could be in a rehearsal room. Maybe just like keep your apartment one big audition central. I'm sure your parents would not like that.
I don't know if my roommate would either.
Oh,
No, but so my roommate comes in a couple days, so I was like, let me get this done now.
yeah, right.
But yeah, it's really quite strange. COVID hit my sophomore year, and I was like, oh, by the time I graduate, I knew by then I wanted to graduate early, and so I figured it out. But I was like, by the time I graduate early, like that's almost 2022 December, like it's gonna be done by then, and of course it's not. So that was a little curveball, but it's definitely a lot more open than 2020, and I feel like there's a better handle on everything. And even though new things are thrown at us, I'm hopeful that we'll continue to find a way to make things work. even with COVID a
Absolutely.
part of
Well,
it.
the audience saw that you're a beautiful performer. I want to know though, what is it about teaching and choreography that you love?
Um, I I teaching has always kind of been something I've been interested in, and so in high school I would teach at camps, and then during the pandemic I started teaching online private lessons. So that's I've been doing that for almost 2 years now. Mostly for kids, singing lessons for kids, and then at school this semester I choreographed the musical Hedwig and the Angry Inch. So that was really fun, and I feel like I was always told you have to choose dance or theater or singing or one thing, and that's not what I want to do. I want to teach. I want to choreograph. I want to dance. I want to sing. So it's definitely tricky balancing it all. But I, if I only did one thing, I
I
don't
am
think I could.
telling you, you can do it all. I struggled so many years. Um, I performed 20 plus years with my twin brother. We had a great singing career, but I always wanted to be a director. And I always thought you had to do one or the other. So I waited a little bit longer than I'd like, but obviously things happen for a reason and I'm doing fine. But I just love that you're so young and already know that you're standing in your power to do more than one thing that you're meant to be doing all at the same time because they all feed one another, as you know. So I just think that's so wonderful for someone who's so young to have so many tools in their tool belt and to be able to realize that they can do it all at once. I think that's you're so freaking ahead of the game, Danielle.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, I just speak the truth. Now listen, I want to let the audience know, obviously, for more on the amazing Danielle Burman, you can read more about her right below this video. Final question for you, Danielle. You know, again, like I said, it's been a tough time for performers and artists. But if there were any like young Danielles out there who were just graduating college who may not live right outside Manhattan, or in your case, in Manhattan right now, what advice would you give to them if their spirits are a little low right now because of the whole COVID situation?
Um, I would just tell them to keep going because there were a lot of times during college where I second guessed myself and if this was the right thing because of everything being so uncertain. But I know that there's nothing else for me that would make me as happy. And so I just kept going.
Amazing. Danielle, you are so wise beyond your years. It's incredible. I'm so excited you're coming on board this amazing new app. So grateful for your time today and so happy that we are now connected.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it all.
Thank you.